Here's a box fan update. Worked pretty late last night. Got basically all of the pink foam glued up there. So we got 2 inches of Foamular on the ceiling, 1 inch on the walls, 1 inch on the walls in the cab over. I have marked out basically where the outer wooden frame of my window is going to be. I ground off those rivets, and then I'm going to cut the ribs where the window needs to go. That is 44 inches is where the counter height is going to be from the white wooden floor right now. By the time I add another 1.5 inches of floor, it won't be quite so tall. But I'm going to have most of my components and everything underneath that cabinet, so I want it to be pretty tall, and it's going to be super deep. Then over here you can see the way the rest of the wall is getting done. I've got 18 inches of plywood on the bottom because this is the garage area, so I wanted it to be extra durable. And right at the top of that 18 inches is where I'm going to mount my E-track, and I've got some cool Moto chocks. And then 1/2 inch of foam, another strip, 4-inch strip of plywood, and I'm going to put some L-track along the whole length of that. And then up here I have a 6-inch strip. That's the seam where my 48 inches of FRP is going to overlap. And then obviously I've got the wooden frame for mounting the window. Another strip of plywood, and then I've got the ceiling plywood, and that's down just a little bit so that I can have my cedar plank tongue and groove ceiling paneling. There will be room for that to go all the way to the walls. Same thing over here. I'm working my way up from the bottom. And I even put foam in that little space there. For some reason I could not, the glue didn't hold this. I didn't block it up in place, and because it has some curve on there, it looked like it popped off. I need to determine where exactly I want to put my fan and my air conditioner. I'd like to have room for a solar panel over here on the left side that can tilt up. So, but also my stove is going to be right here. So I want the fan to be close to that. I guess probably anywhere is good. It'll be all solar panels up ahead of this. So where you see these 3.5 panels, that's going to be all solar panels up here. And then back behind, the rooftop air conditioner is going to hang back a ways. And so here I'll have maybe like 6 feet or so. I'm going to reinforce that with some thicker aluminum and bend it to fit the shape, glue it up there, so I've got an observation deck where I can sit up there at lawn chairs and watch sunset or watch motocross race or whatever. The Great Stuff spray foam actually worked really well for gluing these curved ceiling panels in place. And then I used 3M Super 77 for all of those small flat panels. And I only had to hold them in place for 30 seconds or so, and then they stuck just fine. So next, I'm going to finish putting the panels up the wall, and then it's going to be pretty close to time to going back to the hardware store and buying some FRP and starting to put the finished paneling here. And once I get this section here done, glue in my braces for my 2 14-inch square cuts, then I will be able to finish the foam there and start doing the ceiling, because I'm going to do the full ceiling before I do the tops of the walls. And I haven't made my door frame just yet, but I did pull off the patch from where that was torn, and so fortunately I'll be able to cut out the section of body damage that's the biggest. And then I think there will be some foam panels up above that, but that's no big deal. Ceiling first.